Hey guys, what's up? This is Seth from the REtipster Blog, and in this video I want to give you a little behind the scenes look at the camera setup that I use when I'm making these videos. This is something I know probably not everybody's going to care about, but I know there's some people out there who are always curious about this kind of thing if they want to make videos for whatever reason. So I'm just going to give you a quick look at what I use, and hopefully you'll find it sort of interesting. I've got an iPhone here that I'm going to use as sort of a backup camera to show you around here. The camera that I use right here is called the Canon 70D. You can actually see me right there. If you're familiar with the vlogger Casey Neistat, I learned about him about a year ago. For a while this was the exact setup he was using. He's kind of the one that I got a lot of these ideas from. But it's a really nice camera. It's got really good autofocus. So as you'll kind of notice, I can like move up really close, and I can move way back, and I can move over here. And it just sort of, you know, the camera kind of follows your face and automatically focuses in. And a lot of the cheaper Canon cameras and really other brands out there don't do that. So it's kind of a nice thing. So it's the Canon 70D. The lens that I'm using right here, this is the 10 to 18 millimeter lens. And it's really nice because it's a wide angle and you can just sort of see a lot. You know, when you kind of zoom in, you just kind of get a really good view. Sort of a unique perspective. I always kind of thought it was cool. The microphone that I'm using here, this is the Rode VideoMic Pro, and it's a really good mic just for getting like high quality audio. A lot of the built-in microphones to these Canon cameras are really not good. This is a great way to get just much better audio quality. Rode also makes another version called the Rode VideoMic Go, which is less than half the price of this one, and it's actually a little bit more user-friendly in some ways. That's another good option. I think the quality of that is not quite as good, but it's really close. So if you're looking for a cheaper option, check that one out. This interesting little tripod I have here is called the Joby GorillaPod Focus and the Ball Head X. It's actually two different things. This is the Ball Head, and then this is the Joby GorillaPod. Again, I got this idea from Casey Neistat too. It's an awesome tripod because it's flexible. You can like bend it however you want, and it will just kind of stay in place. You can wrap it around a telephone pole, or you can set it on any kind of uneven surface, or even a desktop like I'm doing here, and it just does a really good job. So something else you might have noticed is I have these big white box lights. I've got one right there and another one right there. And the reason I have those, I do have this window right here that kind of lights up my face, but not that well, because this is a basement office and that's an egress window, so I don't get a ton of sunlight through it. So I just have these lights here so I can just control the lighting a lot better. And it just helps to light up my face so you can see me and you're not squinting trying to see who I am. So yeah, those white box lights, I survived for a long time without them, so I don't think they're necessarily a must. If you have an office with good daylight that comes in, that could be more than enough. But if you're in sort of a darker place like where I'm at here, they can be really helpful. In terms of webcams, sometimes you might see videos with like this kind of perspective of me, and I'm just using the webcam that's built into my Mac. So it's not like the highest video quality, but it's good enough. It's really all I kind of need it for. Prior to this computer, I was actually using just a normal PC, which I still have right there. And the reason I have that is because I need it sometimes when I'm like sorting through lists or doing things in Excel. Sometimes the Microsoft Office software on the Mac just isn't quite the same, doesn't have the same feel. Sometimes I'll get little malfunctions that don't happen on the PC version. So every once in a blue moon, I'll need the PC for that kind of thing. So that's why I still have it. And when I was using this primarily, I had a different webcam called the Logitech HD Pro Webcam C920. It's kind of a mouthful. It's a great webcam, has really high quality. It's not quite the same as, you know, one of these cameras, but it's still really good if you're just looking for a user-friendly, cheaper option that kind of does a lot of things pretty well. It's a really good choice to work with. One other thing I'll mention is this mic right here. This is the Rode NTG3. It's a pretty expensive mic, and it's really good if you want to get professional level audio quality. It just has a very dynamic range. It sounds awesome. I will say I don't think it's really necessary to get something that's this expensive. I mean, you can get really good results with much, much cheaper options. This is what I use whenever I'm recording like screenshot recordings where you don't really see my face, you just see the computer screen. This is the mic I'm using. Prior to this, I had a different mic. It was called the Audio-Technica ATR 2100, which honestly I think is a great mic, and it's not even that much worse than this one. It's not quite as good, but it's still up there, and the cost is like less than $100. So if you want a much more budget conscious mic that still sounds great, I think that's a great option to work with. And it's really easy because you don't even need a mixer or anything. You can just plug it right into the USB slot of your computer, and that's all you gotta do. So it's a really, really nice one to work with. In terms of the screenshot tutorials that I make, where I'm like taking you through how to use a website or a document or anything like that, the software that I'm using for that is called Camtasia from a company called TechSmith. Just awesome, awesome software. It works really, really well. It's easy to use. You can get it both for PC and for Mac. It has a lot of nice features built into it. I can't say enough good things about it. I can tell you there are other options. If you have a Mac, another software is called ScreenFlow that I think is even a little bit cheaper, and it's really popular. A lot of people like it. I've used it a little bit, but I'm just more familiar with Camtasia, so that's kind of what I've stuck with. But ScreenFlow could be a great option if you're a Mac user. If you're on a PC, I'm sure there are other options, but honestly, I just haven't investigated those very well. So Camtasia is the only one I've ever really used and am familiar with on the PC end. So, but anyway, Camtasia, really, really good option. I've used it to make dozens of videos. As long as you have a good mic and you can, talk along with what you're saying, that's really all you need. It's just your computer screen, the mic, and then the Camtasia software. I will also mention that when I'm editing videos, the video editing software that I use is called Final Cut Pro 10, and that's only available on a Mac. If you're using a PC, there's also Adobe Premiere, which I've used a little bit. I found that to be a little bit less user-friendly, but it can definitely work. So that's pretty much it. That's all the basic equipment I use, and it's just a one-man show. I don't have any other people editing stuff. Hopefully you found that somewhat interesting and informative. And if you're a video maker, I wish you all the best, and I hope you're able to make some awesome videos with either this equipment or something similar. So that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.